Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Irongeek Cast number 184. When the hell is Caprico coming back? Obviously, a name that I think Frank chose. How's everybody doing tonight?
Oh, shit, I'm doing okay. Just living the dream.
We're going to add Mary back into the stream.
No, I'm here. That's good.
No, it somehow dropped you, and I had to add
No,
you.
no. I clicked a thing to add a thing, and it's like, oh, you're not logged in yet. So I just went and I made an account.
But now you have no avatar.
I know. I'm fixing that. I wanted to find a cute one because I'm a woman and we like cuteness.
Okay. Oh, and we have a Frank.
It is a Frank.
I gotta go wash my hands, but everybody, say how you're doing, and I'll be right back after I get me some drink and some washing my hands.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hello.
It's Mary.
Yeah, I'm here because apparently you needed a token woman, otherwise they were bitching.
Right. If we don't have a woman, we are not an InfoSec podcast that can be appreciated by the majority of the InfoSec community.
Well, they're oh man.
No. They're
Wait
still
till they
gonna
get a
bitch.
load of me.
They're still gonna bitch. That's the thing. You don't fit their woman idea. They'll
No,
still
I'm
bitch.
not, because I'm a men's rights activist. I'm an equalitarian, and I've done firefighting and EMS and very manly jobs in the past, and I don't blame men for fucking everything. I think some men are assholes, but some women are cunts. So I think it's pretty evenly dispersed.
Oh, we've been demonetized in not even 2 minutes of the cast. That's excellent.
I'm really good at that, man. I'm shocked.
Adrian's
I
not gonna get us $3.
managed to keep my mouth shut this long.
Yeah, Mary. So you're our malicious compliance. That's what you are.
No. I should just change it to malicious compliance. Right now, it's president of the InfoSec patriarchy because that's my title. But
Yeah, I put her in charge of the patriarchy because I figured it needed a woman.
You can't put somebody in charge of the patriarchy.
no.
You
I
can't put a woman
literally
in
am.
charge.
I
I mean,
own
come
the
on.
website and everything. I and that's actually would like to talk about that later if possible.
In general, women are better at organizing things.
Show notes for you, all chipped out there.
No. I need more alcohol if I'm going to do this cast, though. I have a feeling.
Yeah, who keeps messing with my show notes and changing it from ones to A's to B's to? I mean, stick with the freaking format already.
I didn't touch anything. That's just how it was. So I tried to keep everything under number 18.
I just come in and say, what the fuck has Frank done? At least he's put some content in. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
We're not live yet, you guys.
Oh, you kept my show name. I didn't think that was going to stay. That's great. What's going on in the background there, Mary?
That's my favorite roommate. It's just yeah. Don't you dare.
Oh, that's not Matthew.
No, that's Kranitz. He lives upstairs. He rents my office. He takes care of my animals.
Oh.
And that's my child. Okay, when we start, you better get out of here. I will flog you.
Oh, we already started.
Are we live?
Yeah.
No, we're live. See, now we're gonna get in trouble.
Hence, that's why we got
I
demonetized.
said a little bit ago we were going live. That might have been the brief time you were dropped off, though.
No, I didn't hear you.
That's great. Fun shit. So we got lots of fun shit for y'all watching this week. All two of you, and it should be fun. And eventually Caprico will come back and he will talk about fun things.
Yeah.
And it'll be great.
Oh, Mary, did you add anything to the show notes about what you want to talk about?
Yeah, it's at the very bottom.
Okay. Do you want to actually go talk about it in the beginning, or do you want to wait to the end?
Whenever is going to be good for you guys, because I was kind of hoping we get a few more people on. What I'd like to be able to do is get a little bit of a brainstorming session, because that's something that needs to be done.
This is probably everybody we're going to get on.
Okay.
It's just us cool people this week.
Just the cool people.
We're going to finish our introduction. What's going on with us? For me, I'm just been doing some more home automation. Got some more of these light bulbs where I can just do things like change the lighting around me. Like now I got to figure out how to turn on my camera.
Yeah, I've been screwing around with this project for work where I'm trying to build essentially like a VPN gateway that does site to site because Security Onion doesn't work over a tunnel interface. And so you got to like proxy all that traffic through another box. So I've been playing with that, and I got one directional traffic going, but then getting the shit coming back, I had to figure out how to use a thing called iRoutes, which was a pain in the ass, but I got it working, and it still won't install right. But I'll figure it out, because that's what I do. I figure things out, and I drink. Not necessarily in that order.
All right, my camera's back on. I basically automated some things around here so I can say, hey, Google, set lights blue. I got bands I can turn on.
It looks like some lights aren't available right now.
I know that. I don't need to know that anything more. Also, I wish you could rename that. Because now every time I say, okay, Google, I'm going to confuse the hell out of everybody's home system if they have a big system.
Hey, Google, call Mom. Oh, shit.
I don't understand.
No, don't actually do it. I forgot.
God damn it, Trent.
This is why you wear headphones
Hey, Google,
on
turn lights red.
Hackercast.
Fuck off, Google.
Yeah, and this is why you don't have it respond to that, too.
Lights aren't available right now.
Hey, for me to call my mom, it'd have to be a seance.
Call whatever phone number used to be in there for her. Some random person answers.
Okay. How's Darren doing?
Shit, I'm doing okay. Just living the dream, like I said. Going with things day by day. So I mean, that's all I can really do. Being my usual shut-in self.
Hey, being a shut-in is the popular thing nowadays. It's no longer looked down upon. You're actually a hero.
I mean, that's actually kind of neat. Is my workplace, the president sent out an email saying, hey, we're sending remote work till June of next year. And I'm like, damn, okay. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, my boss was thinking about maybe closing our office and just letting everybody do remote forever.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool.
That was actually a big problem we have with where I work is I work in a building that actually has a data center in it, and right now they're actually having problems with power because they don't have enough power to expand. And now that people are working from home and there's not so much AC, people like charging shit and running personal computers and lights and all that jazz, suddenly there's not a power shortage anymore. So
Yeah, it's funny how that works, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm actually pulling a lot more power than I should be. I trip my circuits all the time.
Yeah, I've
had
got
to
AC going.
One of my machines from this room, and I've had to put it in my laundry room because I don't have enough power in this room to run both of them at the same time without tripping the circuit all the time. So now I've got a server in the laundry room.
That's the problem working from home with I've got AC going, especially since for the past couple of months it's been summer, and that blows 23 hours a day because it's hot as shit. So
Yeah, up in Indiana at nights it's now getting down to like the 50s, so it's not bad at all.
oh yeah, at night it's getting to low 70s, if not 60s. So it's been okay. I mean it's dropping. So
Yeah,
I
last
think
month or so, I've been walking outside at night instead, just because I'm hot during the day. But now it's getting down pretty cool.
I mean there's been a few days where.
Have you guys seen the sun? I don't know if it looks like it does here over there, but the sun is like towards the end of the day, you can actually look directly at it because of all the dust from the wildfires that are kicked up there, and it actually just looks like a circle. It looks like the moon. Like, it's really weird looking. I took some pictures of it and posted it on my Facebook.
That's kind of weird that you're getting some of that dust effects from this wildfires because that's the other side of the country. That's
I know.
Far.
Yeah, but the wind blows east. We've actually had a static pressure system on top of the Midwest that's kept most of the actual dust away, but because it's going over top, we've gotten some weird sunsets too. But for the most part, it's managed to stay clear. So that pressure system has been blocking the hurricanes and redirecting the smoke. So for now.
Oh, by the way, Darren, I called one of the local places I buy firearms, and what I was looking for, I finally kind of decided, all right, I'm gonna buy this one. Now they're out of it. I should have bought it a month or two ago.
Yep.
I may call the store that's near Mary and drive an hour to go get that if they still have it.
You're just give me a heads up when you're coming, and I'll make you dinner.
Well, you're in more rural Indiana, and out there, not as many people probably did a rush to buy guns because
they've already got it.
had one.
That's all the rush right now is all the new gun owners, all people who have never bought them before. Like I had a guy who just bought a Ruger 5.7 on Gunbroker the other day and came and got it from me. And I was telling him like, I had like a 74-year-old woman the other day come here and buy a gun for the first time because shit's getting crazy.
Well, I want to get a pocket pistol. It's easy to carry, but only ones I got currently are 22. So I'm currently looking at a 380. I know people still say 380 is underpowered, but it's easy to pocket.
Yeah, I got a pocket pistol. Someday I might even get a gun.
All right, Mary, how are you doing?
Huh?
How are you doing?
Been busy at work, which has been good. Trying to keep caught up with art. Of course, it's election season, so we get fascinating, interesting requests. Like we got a little old 80-year-old man came in and he wanted a Trump shirt, so we designed him a Trump shirt because that's what he wanted, and he was happy. And then yeah, I've been working on other stuff. T-shirt design mainly, pins, things, etc. I kind of like it as I run the print shop, so I get to do things. But yeah.
Yeah, man. So what's everybody been up to this week besides Mary?
Isn't that what we just asked, though?
Well, Mary, not really.
I think we got there, and we got
talking about the freaking sun for a while, and then Mary was talking about her print shop.
I mean,
We don't know what happened with you.
I think the only person we have left might be you.
Oh, I already talked about my stupid project for work. That's not right.
That's all good. I think Mary has announcements and some. Well, actually, let's do general announcements and go into what Mary wants to say. Mary, it's the general announcements. The sun looks weird because of wildfires. Other announcements, if you go look at the show notes, we list a bunch of cons that have moved dates or are completely canceled for this year. We don't know what the ones are for next year. You can check that out in the show notes. It's linked in the description, hopefully. By the way, another thing to know, if you ever see something weird in the Irongeek Cast playlist, let me know, because the Google or the Android interface for YouTube makes it too easy to accidentally add something you don't want to add. Like I've had all sorts of weird shit appear in the feed that Yeah,
I saw some Timcasts in there. I'm like, I don't remember being on a Timcast episode.
Yeah, I was just watching them, and somehow I accidentally hit save, and it just automatically saves it into the last playlist, even if you didn't mean to do it. And it's easy to add to tap.
Interesting thing about Tim Pool. Did you know that he actually founded Vice News? He
didn't found the magazine and so forth. I think he's one of the first people on the video team. I don't know exactly the details, but yeah, he was one of the early people when they started doing video.
Yeah, their whole Vice News thing that's on HBO, that was him. He started that. And it's become like a super left-wing media outlet at this point.
The people that used to be on Young Turks that have all left, they kind of all left because Young Turks went way over the deep end too.
Yeah, Young Turks was defending the Cuties movie recently, and even their people on their YouTube channel had voted. More people downvoted that than upvoted it.
Yeah, I actually watched that so I could actually speak on it. The thing is, there's a few scenes that people talk about as being especially bad that I missed because I was so bored with the film. I was looking at my phone. It's not wall-to-wall pedo bait, but does have some of that, and it's definitely over-sexualization of children. But mostly it's just a really uninteresting film, unless you're a pedo.
I mean, there supposedly, again, I haven't seen this. There is a scene where, like, one of the young girls, like, shows her tits, like, what little she has. And it's like, what the fuck?
And from YouTube reviews of
it. It's in the parental warning notes. If you actually read them, it lists every instance that's questionable.
At one point, a girl's trying to blackmail an adult into having sex with her, and she takes a picture of her junk on his phone in the bathroom. That's pretty fucked up. I haven't seen it, but I've seen people review it on YouTube, so it's pretty messed up. Anyway, we've got InfoSec stuff to talk about, but do we want to start with Mary first, or do we want to get
Mary? Because otherwise she's going to be sitting here for a long time. So just in case,
well, she'd be quite contrary.
Unless she gets so she doesn't get bored. Let's go ahead and start with Mary. But her notes are at the bottom of the show notes. But go ahead, Mary.
No, you've moved. It's been moved. All right. So, okay. So we've been joking about this InfoSec patriarchy website for probably, I don't know, 5-10 years now, and we decided, I decided to just go ahead and pull the trigger on it. So I bought InfoSecPatriarchy.com, and I put up a response. I put up a questionnaire just to kind of get an idea, just kind of where the community was with stuff. What the overwhelming responses were to what would you find most beneficial to people who are new to InfoSec to have support with was mentoring, and second was finding work. So what I'd like to focus the site on, granted, it's going to be InfoSec patriarchy. It's going to be somewhat tongue-in-cheek. It is not going to be men hating, just because I'm really sick of it. I miss the old, and a lot of people I've talked to, we miss the old hacker community where it was based on like the mentor, where we don't see, people we see people by their ideas and by their contributions. We want to bring it back to that, so it's more of a hands-on thing and less of this. I don't equality, non-equality thing that we're starting to get, because it's completely counterproductive. But what I want to focus on the site is I want to focus on mentoring mainly. I have a section up already that's open to the public if people want to sign up as mentors or where they want to be mentored with. I also want it to be a place for the community to submit, articles of interest, non-political, non-biased articles, just flat out more scientific. Hey, I've had this cool idea. I did this. This is how I did it, or this is what I think could happen. Kind of just real traditional news articles that I think people would find interesting reading. I want the contributors to be able to be judged on contributions, so that's kind of the focus there. I do think there should be a section if there is a members area, which I discussed this with a few people about maybe doing paywall and having it so there is, somewhat controlled, so we don't get too many trolls. But for people who want to do some more socialization or support seeking, because like I said, there's a lot of mental health issues and men tend to get the short end of the stick, especially with that. But I don't, I want to, I just want it to be a more of a real community place that's, not going to be, forced, politically correct, which I guess is the best way to try to say it gently.
Now,
but I am looking for a few things. I'm looking for editors, moderators, and authors, if anyone is interested. And I am still taking ideas. The site's up preliminarily. I need to add the about page. But
so, Mary, are we going to have at least as many women for as many men in this organization?
If they want to join, they're welcome. I'm not discounting or blocking anyone. So, I mean, I read the about us that we have written, or that I've had a few people kind of look over and help me kind of write so far. The purpose of this group is to create a place for men and egalitarians to exist without the prejudices imposed on them by social justice or radical feminist culture. We believe all humans are created equal. We believe in sharing knowledge indiscriminately while supporting and uplifting people. We support those who seek to better themselves through the pursuit of knowledge and truth. We believe that cancel culture is wrong and that no one should be silenced because they hold a differing opinion. We believe all opinions should be expressed and civilly discussed, even if the outcome of the discussion is not favorable to your position. It should be resolved as an agreement to disagree respectfully. We believe in presenting unbiased facts and allowing people to come to their own conclusions. We do not believe in telling others how they should think or feel about any given topic. We believe that humans are the sum of all their parts, and no one has to check talking point boxes to be admitted to this group. And we celebrate the individual's right to hold their own separate and diverse opinions. So that's kind of our general about me that I'm working with right now.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Thank you for your efforts on that front.
And like I said, if people want to get a hold of me, you can go ahead and shoot me an email. You can use mary@maryamconley.com is fine. And if anyone would like to get in touch with me, or Paint27 on Twitter, you can hit me up with a DM. But,
Art by Later is saying someone blocked her. I'm not sure who's blocked her.
Who blocked who?
Later.
Yeah, she blocked me on Facebook. She used to be my friend on Facebook, and then she blocked me for no reason. Not nice. Anyway, moving forward, we've got sex stuff. in the show notes if Mary's doesn't have anything else to add about the patriarchy.
I'm good for now. I'll jump in if I need to.
Excellent. So we're going to start off this week with talking about how multiple. Now, I want to say Thai. I know some people say Thai, but those people are idiots. So Thai hospitals were hit by a ransomware. All right. So in Bangkok, I love the name of that town. Hospitals and companies were both hit by hackers who are holding computer systems and data ransom, demanding payments. As it happens nowadays, everybody gets ransomware, right? Saraburi Hospital could not access its data on September 5th, slowing their operations to manual functions, but the hospital did receive a demand for payment. Some organizations have demanded payments, have actually received demands for payments, rather, in sums that exceed 1 million baht. That would be 32 grand in US money. And the total number of organizations affected is still being investigated, but it's a lot of different places in Thailand that have been hit by ransomware recently, almost like it's an organized attack on that country itself, rather than just having some really bad infosec, OPSEC, both wrong. Some really bad cybersecurity policies in place that allowed for that to happen. And of course, back in 2017, the WannaCry ransomware disrupted a bunch of hospitals and businesses, not just in Thailand, but all across the world. Moving forward, we've got schools in Connecticut also hit by some ransomware. So it was the first day of school, and they got hit by ransomware. Now, if I were a kid nowadays and I had to go to school, I would probably infect my school with ransomware. So but I don't know how this happened. It's not really evident in the story as to how they got infected by ransomware, but it was the first day of school. They went to go log in, nothing worked. Everything was encrypted. Sucks. It happens. Some people in Hartford, officials are investigating the attack and assessing its impact. They don't think any personal information was leaked out, but you never know nowadays because a lot of these gangs, they will steal your information, and then if you don't pay your ransom, they will extort you and leak that shit elsewhere. So, yeah, about 18,000 students were enrolled in this school, and none of them could get to go to school because of this. And school, a lot of places are doing school remotely, so I assume that they were doing remote school. It doesn't really say in the article. Moving forward, we also have a Chilean bank that has had all their branches shut down due to some ransomware. It's Banco Estado, and you have to forgive me for my horrible accent, but I never took Spanish. So they're going to remain closed until at least September 7th because of this attack. And right now it is past September 7th. So yeah, it's gonna, if they're still down or not, I don't know. The article's a little old. So according to ZDNet, they got hit with Revil, otherwise known as Soda no Kibi. It's being investigated, and I think it was in a malicious Word document that got opened by an employee, and then it spread throughout the network. Took down the whole freaking infrastructure for the entire bank in multiple locations. So I guess they probably had a flat LAN going on there. Like VLANs, they'd all talk to one another. Maybe some password reuse issues. Because they obviously spread throughout that network pretty damn quickly. Sucks for them. And we've got some crap going on in China, or China. Personal details of millions of people from all around the world have been gathered by a tech firm, and then that tech firm got hacked. So the intent behind this is to use big data to compile lists featuring everyone from low-key people to the royal family. I think like advertising stuff that they want to gather on everybody. It's one of those companies that gathered that info, and then they got hacked, and all their shit was leaked. 52,000 Americans, 35,000 Australians, 10,000 Britons. That's just the info that's been leaked so far. The data set's apparently larger than that. Yeah, it's just regular people. It's their data, their browsing habits, all sorts of fun shit about people that some bad guys might want to know. So it goes on. Talks about open source software a little bit in that article and the risks inherent in running that, which I don't necessarily agree with. So I'm not going to read that part of the article. And we're going to keep going. Next, we've got India is planning on introducing a law that's going to ban cryptocurrency trading. Now, how the hell they're going to enforce this, I don't know. With the availability of VPNs and everything else, I mean, you can be in India but look like you're in San Francisco. So, yeah. But anyway, they're planning on making a law saying that you're not allowed to trade cryptocurrency. A lot of other Asian companies are looking to regulate the cryptocurrency market. So this is kind of like a stab at that. It's being discussed by their federal cabinet, and then it's going to be sent to their parliament where it can be approved or not. The federal government will encourage blockchain, which is, of course, the technology behind Bitcoin that allows for the distributed ledger, where people know what it's essentially a big distributed database that's like a peer-to-peer database. Really weird. Hard to describe thing that if we had our guys who do crypto stuff here, they could describe it better. But they love that technology. They just don't like the whole Bitcoin and Monero thing where essentially people can trade in cryptocurrency and avoid
Taxes?
Hey, we said it at the same time. Yeah, so the Indian Central Bank in 2018 banned crypto transactions after a string of frauds. And then the Prime Minister made a decision to ban 80% of the nation's currency. Then cryptocurrency exchanges responded with a lawsuit. Yeah.
Whole big 6. I see 6 doesn't have a description on it, just a link.
Are you on the Bloomberg article?
No, I'm the one right above it. Dude, watch it in the edit mode. That way you can see it whenever I change something.
Stop changing things.
Well, this one needs change because it doesn't actually have a description.
Well, it did until somebody deleted it.
I didn't delete it, and I don't think anybody else here deleted it.
We'll just do this. Go here. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to go Control C. I'm going to go back here to this. I'm going to hit Tab. Hit Control V. And I'm going to Control Z and then Control Shift V because formatting. And boom. And now you can.
I don't think that's right either.
That's closer. Now we're going to go here and go like that. And then here and go like that. And that's good. That's good. It's fixed. All right. So, yeah, the long and short of that story is India is trying to ban cryptocurrency trading. Their own currency is not necessarily so stable. So I guess a lot of people there think crypto is a safe bet to store their money without the government fucking with it. So and the government probably don't like that too much. Next, we've got Mod Security V3 affected by a DOS attack. And I should probably share my screen, shouldn't I, so people can see what the hell we're doing here. And hopefully I don't share the screen with my porn playing on it. Yeah, that would not be good. All right. You guys can see my screen now? Yet? No? Almost? Adrian, share it.
Yeah, hold on a second. Yeah,
all right. So Modbus V3 is affected by a denial of service attack. Now, Modbus is used natively in Nginx web server, I believe. It is a security thingy, and it does stuff that makes it more secure, but it also now apparently lets somebody DOS the server with not much effort, so to speak. You know, like you can take it out with just a few packets rather than DDoSing it forever. It uses something called non-anchored regexes containing the capture action and fills the transmit variable space beyond the documented limit of 10 instances. Whatever the hell that means. You know, that's highly technical stuff. And Spider Labs wrote a whole report on it that you can go and read if you're interested in the technical hoo-ha. But no, for now, you can go grab a Python script and take down an Nginx server if you want to. That's always fun. And speaking of people hacking stuff, which is pretty much the whole point of the cast, hackers are getting more hands-on with their attacks, and that's not a good sign. Well, Nation-state hackers and just your run-of-the-mill cyber criminals are all taking advantage of the rise in remote working, and their attacks are getting more and more sophisticated. There is a rise in attacks attributed to the combination of cyber criminals continuing to evolve their tools, techniques, procedures, as well as hacking groups that are exploiting the rise in remote working driven by the COVID-19 pandemic means gaining access to accounts and networks. The findings are detailed in a threat hunting report put out by CrowdStrike. A lot of companies like putting out these big reports because it makes their company more well known and people will come and buy their shit. So this is one of those reports where it compiles a bunch of data and comes to some interesting conclusions. So first half of 2020 saw 41,000 intrusions, a higher figure than 35,000 during all of 2019. So, and just the first half of 2020, we have more attacks going on than all of the year before. So that technically, I guess, means that by the end of it, we will probably have more than twice as many attacks as we did last year, or maybe 4 times as many. I don't know. I'm bad at math. So the most alarming thing is the volume and the reach and the amount of intrusions they're seeing. The fuck is that?
Oh, I got a stun gun flashlight here recently.
Oh, you got one of those? Those are fun.
Yeah, I just got to figure out the safety mechanism on it. So
You gotta make sure it's legal where you are. Otherwise, you're gonna get Jessica Yanieved.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm hotter than Jessica.
What does he have?
He's got a stun gun to take out the person to his house.
If he goes silent for a while, do we assume you stunned? Do I assume that you've stunned yourself? I have to drive my ass down there and resuscitate you?
I think by the time you get here, I'd be dead. But yeah.
No, you just be unconscious.
Oh my god!
But also, like a flashlight.
Yours is too big, man. You gotta how does this work?
You'd just be unconscious. You wouldn't be dead.
You'd probably be unconscious. You probably need some snuff.
Yeah, then you have to turn the bottom thing on and then move the switch all the way forward, and then
we play with our stun guns. Yeah. And then
Meanwhile, I don't actually have a stun gun.
I want one.
I've got real guns and
I don't know how
medieval
effective it is.
weapons.
I'm not going to test it on myself. Can I get a volunteer?
yeah, Adrian.
I have to put down some rabbits next time we have hackers on the farm. You could bring that if you want to test it, because
On what?
it should be out then.
I can test it on Kranitz or what?
No, I said I have to butcher some rabbits.
I don't know.
What's the effective rate on that? How fast?
That seems like a very nice thing to do to a poor rabbit.
Would it put the rabbit out? Is the question. I did some research. I know that we can get stunners, but
Oh, those poor rabbits. Those
there's
wascally.
nothing poor about it. But when I butcher them, they're out so fast they don't even know what hit them.
How many women who watch this podcast, which is 0, actually kill their own rabbits? Just married.
Delicious.
Probably the number of people who actually watch this podcast who kill their own rabbits is 0 to 1, I would guess.
I've never killed a rabbit. I don't think I've ever killed an animal that's not an insect. I'm lame.
You never killed a rabbit. You ain't no friend.
They've been Adrian and a few people have been here when we've done Hackers on the Farm, which we're probably not doing this year just because I can't keep up with everything and 2020 has been shit. Okay. But they were here last year when we butchered the goat, and that sucker jumped out a window. We had to chase it out across the yard before we caught it. That was not fun.
You're just goading me.
No, really. We had the stupid thing jumped out the window before we could shoot it.
Well, was it really stupid? Because it, for its own survival, it did the right thing.
It did, but I needed to make it into curry.
All right. Next in our cast, we've got network security efficacy in the age of pervasive TLS encryption. Or in other words, how are those assholes in the socks going to see what's going on if you're using HTTPS and you don't have a cert on their box to decrypt it?
Well, that's what you do. You man in the middle of everything on your network and decrypt it.
Yeah, but how do you do that if it's a client network and you don't have the ability to push a cert to every box?
You tell them, okay, you can either give us a cert or you can assume all risk.
Right. or say you put like a firebox on their network and it decrypts all the traffic, but then every time they go to the website, they're going to get an alert.
Yeah.
Sir.
That happened at first in my work, like about a year and a half ago, when they first started doing that, and because websites that use HTTPS pinning started popping alerts like, "Hey, something funky's going on here." So eventually, they fixed that.
Yeah. I meant in the middle of all my shit accidentally through Kaspersky when I installed that antivirus. It replaced all the search with its own. That was fun, and I had to figure out why that was happening. Always fun in InfoSec. So I said this article talks about how in the age where we need to see what the fuck's going on your network, and everyone is encrypting shit. Now they're also using DOH, so you can't even see the DNS queries.
Yeah.
And say, what the hell is going on? How do you get an insight into a network when you can't get 90% of the traffic decrypted, using TLS? So it goes on about that. And it talks about opportunistic decryption. Yeah. So say there's an IPS device in the middle of the flow. It'll appear to the client just like it's a legitimate server, and then you can enable full TLS decryption and DPI capabilities. I've never seen that done in practice, but I guess that's an option. This allows maintaining a desired security efficacy score above the DPI features, albeit at a lower performance level, while some modern security appliances leverage state-of-the-art hardware components to significantly accelerate TLS decryption and overall throughput degradation to 50 to 70% of clear text inspection. Wow, whoever wrote this report really likes using big words and explaining things in a very complicated way. So we got traffic, and we want to break into that traffic. There's a couple different ways we can do it. We can MITM proxy it. We can ARP spoof and then make ourselves the gateway, but then they're just going to see an error when they go to HTTPS page. There are a bunch of ways we can do it where we can get the traffic and then decrypt it, but all of them kind of, if you don't install cert on the client box, you're going to have a bad day. Like, you're going to have people complaining. They can't get to their websites. There's errors, or they have to click through to get to any HTTPS website. So it's certainly something that if somebody could come up with a good way of doing, would save people a lot of heartache and trouble. Look, you can use Active Directory and push it cert to every box on your network fairly easily through a GPO, but not everybody's rocking Active Directory, and it ain't going to help the Linux boxes at all. So yeah. Anyway, this article goes on a bit more. If you guys want to read it, about at the crossroads of decryption at the bottom there, talks about certificates a little bit more and some other shit you can do. I don't know. I don't like this article because despite it being technical, it's just kind of like the guy's intentionally using vocabulary that he doesn't need to be using to explain.
So just being wordy for the sake of getting them extra word count points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next, we've got private data gone public. Razer leaks 100,000 gamers' personal info. No need to breach any systems when the vendor gives you the data for free.
Oh, dear.
So, in August, security researcher, holy crap, that's a name. Let's try this one. Volodymyr Dyachenko. I take it that's Russian. Discovered a misconfigured Elasticsearch cluster owned by gaming vendor Razer, exposing many customers' personal information, or PII. The cluster contained records of customer orders, including information such as the item purchased, the email, the customer's physical address, their phone number, and so forth. Basically, everything you would expect to see from a credit card transaction, but without the credit cards themselves. Which is good, because if they had stored the credit cards themselves in their Elasticsearch database, they'd be having a really bad day right now. So it was exposed not only to the public, but it was also indexed by search engines. So even after they pulled it down, you could still access the data. He reported this misconfigured cluster, which contained about 100,000 users' data, and they took about 3 weeks and then fixed it. Razer offered the following public statement. We were made aware by Mr. Volodymyr of a server misconfiguration that potentially exposed, I like how they put potentially in there, despite it was definitely exposed order details, customer and shipping information. No other sensitive information, such as credit cards or passwords, were exposed. The server misconfiguration has been fixed on the 9th of September prior to the lapse being made public. We would like to thank you and sincerely apologize for the lapse and have taken all necessary steps to fix the issue, as well as conduct a thorough review of our IT security and systems. I wonder who writes these things. I wonder if it's like actually...
Lawyer.
Yeah, it's got to be a lawyer, right?
Lawyer.
It's total fluff. So
yeah,
we reached out to Razer for comment. Shortly after the article was published, a Razer representative confirmed the published statement and added that customers with concerns can send their questions to dpo@razer.com until that person's email gets leaked later this year. That's a joke. Okay. Moving forward, again, cybersecurity startup raises $30 million to protect hospitals from hackers. Now, I don't know why we need to have a new cybersecurity startup for this when there's tons of SOCs out there that can do a pretty good job at protecting something like a hospital from many attacks. But
because someone is extremely good at marketing their company. That's why.
Right.
So there, and that's the thing is hospitals, and from a medical perspective, they, unless you tell them what to do, they don't know what to do. So someone was very good at marketing.
Given hospitals tend to be a very difficult environment because you got a lot of outdated systems, things you can't necessarily patch. You've got tons of shit on their networks that is just like IoT type shit that might be running like Windows XP and is still connected to the network. So it's definitely a more of a challenge, right?
Yeah, and the hospitals and research environments are both very difficult because they'll be running stuff that's 40 years old, but that's the machine that they got. So,
yeah.
And then hospitals are and doctors' offices. I mean, even with HIPAA, a lot of them just don't have basic knowledge of how to do common sense security. I cannot tell you how many times you get Matt in the emergency room and he's already bloopy or drugged up on something, and trying to tie him to the bed to keep him from getting into some shit right in front of him. It's difficult. It's like, no.
Actually, a lot of doctors just have no idea about HIPAA and privacy at all. Like my dentist, this is an example. My mom recommended this dentist, and when I went to him, one of the first things he did was showed me my mom's x-rays. And he's like, look, this is where I fixed your mom's teeth. And at the bottom of the screen, it shows like all the drugs she was prescribed. And I'm like, I'm not supposed to see
They
that.
haven't read high tech, and the ones that think they've read high tech don't know what the hell it means. Because and this is an actual conversation we had when I was on the fire department with the local, one of the ambulance groups that we ran with, because they wanted copies of our run reports after the fact. And we had told them because of high tech, he said, oh, just email them over. And like, we can't unless it goes through this end-to-end encrypted system. And she's like, oh, I know what you're doing. You need to just give us all that info. And it's like, but the way we have to transfer it to you is very specific. And they insisted that it was perfectly fine. And I'm like, no, it's not, because that's an unencrypted email, and the kind of the type of patient they were asking for full patient information, because typically what we would do is we would turn in the run report with like date and time and address, but that would be but not too much info. There's so much info you're supposed to have, and there's a degree that you can't have. But they were insisting on getting the full run reports over unencrypted channels, and like we said no, and they got all pissy. So.
Yeah, well, shit like that happens a lot. A lot of industries, people don't really take security seriously, and they're like, just email me that info. It's fine. It's not though. You're breaking rules when you do that, and if you get audited, you can face some big fines and even get shut down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this company that is going to be working with the hospitals, they're called MediaGate, and they describe themselves as being like a traffic control cop for hospital data. So that would be what would we liken that to? Like an EDR system, maybe? I don't know. So they're going to do that for hospitals, and instead, it's monitoring the data packets as they move across the network, checking for potential security vulnerabilities, such as devices whose operating systems haven't been updated to the last version. As a consequence of this, MediaGate can determine how often a particular network device is used and help hospitals make better decisions about utilization. So looks like they're doing some metrics as well as maybe categorizing systems. And you're gonna be able to tell what a system is. Just you can by the TTL, you can tell if it's Windows or Linux. But I mean, like you're not gonna be able to tell, oh, this is Windows 2000 or this is Windows XP versus Windows 10, unless you actually scan the system. You're not gonna be able to tell that just from the traffic going over the wire necessarily. So they're gonna have to implement some kind of thing where it does some vulnerability analysis on the network.
They're going to have so much fun trying to do this now that we've come to telehealth.
But they're
now they're doing telehealth. We have one of our doctor's offices keeps stopped using cell phone appointments because they were told they had to use Zoom, and then we were like, "You're gonna use what?" Like, oh, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, Zoom had some security issues going back about some of the traffic passing through China for no good reason.
Yeah, it still does. And we're like, "You sure you want to be using Zoom to do these?"
I don't know. I like Zoom. It's a pretty easy interface. Yeah, security-wise, maybe not the best. But at one point, they were only going to do end-to-end encryption for people who paid for a user account, and then they reversed that decision. They're like, nope, everyone can have end-to-end. And I thought that was cool. So, yeah, moving forward with this. So if they're going to scan networks in hospitals, they're going to knock shit over. Like, there are things on hospital networks, if you push an Nmap scan against it, you're going to break it. So I don't know how they're going to do this. They say they're going to do it transparently. I don't see that function from a functional standpoint. I don't see that working. You can't fingerprint a system just by the traffic you see going out of it. So you have to look at it. You got to see what ports are open. And
I mean, you can at least get some idea. You know, if you're seeing a lot of, say, port 22 traffic, it's probably some kind of Linux. If you're seeing a lot of traffic over 3389, it's probably some kind of Windows system. If you're seeing traffic over, like, say, 1531, 1521, it's probably an Oracle system.
Right,
but that's very broad. That's very, very broad.
Right, and like I said, just by the TTL, you can tell if it's a Windows or a Linux box. But even then, that's not enough of a description. So here's a look at their dashboard, and that definitely looks like Kibana to me.
Yeah, Greenbone, similar.
No, that's not Greenbone. Greenbone is uglier than that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you can have it feed into a prettier interface.
Yeah, I've been using OpenVAS or
Yeah.
they're starting to change the name. They're starting to try to get all the versions together, but OpenVAS is a pain in the ass versus other vulnerability scanners.
Yeah,
that's true. But some of the other vulnerability scanners are actually built on top of OpenVAS, and they just changed a bunch of the shit. Like ones that cost a lot of money, and will no longer let you scan your home network for more than 30 computers. So the Israeli Defense Force is also on board with this shit, and they're talking to them about some R&D potential with them. They're taking on the healthcare sector, and they say, what is more critical than a human being? Right? That's a good line to sell some software. He talks about how it's a mess right now. Looking at hospitals, these networks are so complex. There's no traditional cybersecurity product that can work well in the environment. How much do you want to bet that this whole solution they've come up with is just a bunch of open source shit cobbled together and somehow working? Kind of like Alien Vault, where they charge you a whole bunch of money to use it, but it's really just under the hood, a whole bunch of open source shit that you could put together yourself if you had the time. Ranting done. Let's go to the next one. Eugene Kaspersky. Interview. We don't have enough people to protect the world from cyber criminals. So the coronavirus crisis has seen a 25% increase in hacking. KGB-trained entrepreneur warns. So that COVID-19 has triggered a surge in global hacking. I cannot read the rest of this freaking article anymore because I read it once and that took up my read on this site. God damn it, Telegraph. You know what? I'm going to take this and I'm going to paste it into a browser and see if somebody else has the article. And then I'm going to try and read it from them. And this is probably the same site. Yep, garbage. All right, so we're going to skip that one because it's behind a paywall. And screw sites that put up paywalls.
But I mean, they're not wrong. I mean, we've always had a IT shortage, not just InfoSec, but other disciplines too. And it's only getting worse as more people get connected and more tech services are in demand by quote the lay people. So I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah.
And people keep going, oh, we have a shortage of workers. No, we got a lot of workers here who want to work, but you don't want to pay them the full price.
Well, that's another thing. I mean, you got to pay the people you work with. And
yeah,
a lot of companies, they're like, okay, so for this entry-level job, we want you to have 10 years of experience in InfoSec. We're going to pay you $28,000. And you know, so it's like, what? Why?
I have to be counted at one time in academia because I applied for a job. They went all this different Cisco experience, various other types of networking and so forth. When I got in there and looked at the pay, I was like, "Wait, you want to pay less than I get paid right now?"
Yeah.
I'm basically a help desk technician. Fuck that.
I still remember a couple years ago, I had a job offer come across my lap that they wanted like a senior level sysadmin with an Oracle DBA, and they only wanted to pay like $85,000, and I'm like, good luck.
No, I do have an opposite version of that. Because people keep saying we have an InfoSec shortage, and I've been giving shit because I said, I really wish I didn't have to deal with these kind of people. See, you want to keep more people out? Yes, some people are just frustrating to have to fucking deal with.
Yeah.
Is there a point to where we're so desperate for people who will accept anything?
I think there is, and unfortunately, the problem is, like I said, we're outsourcing everything to India and to the whole BRIC area, and the problem is not. Again, this is not coming from a place of
they've got bodies, but the bodies aren't trained.
Exactly, it's not coming from a place of because in their country's place because I've just worked with so many people there and they just don't have the skills. They don't. I've met people there who are very skilled, but they are very far between.
Yeah, I'm fine for having informative and information access to anyone, but I do understand where Adrian's coming from, where you shouldn't just be hiring on, purely because we're going to hire people on. That there needs to be a litmus test that shows that they actually know what they're doing for that job. And I understand to a degree you can learn some things, but I felt like I got burned real hard because I felt like I got hired in as a diversity hire during one of those. And even though I was very honest with what my capabilities were and what I wanted to learn, I felt like I was put in a position that was so far over my head that I was destined to fail to begin with. And it just, that's not cool either, especially with someone that wants to learn. So there does need to be a better setup. Hey.
And that's been a problem for a while now. I mean, that was the big thing in the early 2000s was, work your computers, make more money. So that's why everyone went and did that, because they wanted to make more money because IT pays well. Well, it pays well because it's a niche skill set that's not everyone has, that's hard to master. So, but everyone tried to jump on that and make more money. That's why we have a lot of people who are not very good.
True that.
I remember a couple of casts ago, because of my initial comments, someone commented on YouTube something about it was not off to a good start. Stop with the gatekeeping or some shit like that. So I deleted the comment and blocked them.
But that's gatekeeping, man. You're the gatekeeper. And I'm the keymaster.
My comment was simple. I just want conferences where the barrier to entry is you have to watch 3 Dave Chappelle's specials back to back and Blazing Saddles. If you're offended, please stay home.
But not the latest special. This the latest special sucks.
I don't know. The last one I saw, how long ago by the latest?
Like maybe a month or two, I think.
Okay, yeah, it wasn't even a special. That was more of a.
This is like a rant for 45 minutes or so.
Yeah, that one we might talk about it after cast.
His last one, the one talking about, it was like a year ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that was actually really good. That was on point.
The actual Netflix special was really
good. That was actually really good.
Yeah. He's talking about how people were going to cancel him while he was talking about shit that's going to get him canceled. That's pretty good.
He's got so much money now, that's not really a concern for him so much.
Yeah, he's got that FU money that everybody wants.
And he's living in Ohio, so it's not like his expenses are that high.
Oh. But next we've got some shit about Mobile Iron. So I don't know what the hell Mobile Iron is, and I didn't know you used the article ahead of time. But Mobile Iron is an MDM, mobile device management piece of software that employers use to keep track of their employees' phones and laptops, and can do things like remotely wipe them when the employee quits. So these vulnerabilities were identified by researchers at a security consulting place called DevCore, and they were reported to Mobile Iron about early April, and patches came out in June, the middle of June, and they released an advisory in July. Security holes can be exploited for remote code execution. Those are always fun. And read arbitrary files from any targeted system and bypass authentication mechanisms remotely. Included products include Mobile Iron Core version 10.6 and earlier, Mobile Iron Sentry, Mobile Iron Cloud, Mobile Iron Enterprise Connector, and Reporting Database. All their products, all the things. They hacked all the things, but they didn't drink all the booze. And that's why they're not here with us today.
You have to drink all the booze.
Exactly.
Have to.
So in a blog post, DevCore's Orange Psy, that's quite a name for a researcher, reported that they have decided to analyze Mobile Iron's products due to their widespread use. The vendor claims more than 20,000 enterprise uses and solutions. Over 15% of global Fortune 500 companies use their shit, so they decided to test it out. There is a deserialization issue, which probably means it's running Java, because those happen all the time on Java shit. And it's enough for a remote, unauthenticated attacker to achieve arbitrary code execution on a Mobile Iron server. So that would be the server that manages all the devices. So if you can pop the server, you can probably do anything you want to all the devices, considering it's MDM software, which would allow you to push and execute whatever code you want on all those machines that are connected to it, which is fun.
You mean if I get admin, I can do whatever I want? Wow.
Well, it's a little different than just getting admin, because at this point you're got admin on a box that is acting as kind of like a hub for all these machines that are out.
I know. I'm being a little facetious with that. I'm just if you get the management access server, you can do whatever you want. I'm like, yeah, well, so what? That's
the whole point of a management access server. Yeah. So it's a server designed to give the company the ability to control their employee shit. So if that server itself is compromised, whoever compromised it can control all the employee shit. It's like transitive property. There we go. Math shit again. It always comes back to math, doesn't it? After the release of a fix, they reported the issue. But if you were to go on Shodan at the time of the article's writing, you would find about 30% of the servers on the internet are still unpatched, which means you could pop a shell on all of them. And if you were a real badass, you would go and maybe write a Python script that would just work off the input from that Shodan search. Pop it, export it into maybe a CSV file or something. I don't know. You could probably do that. I don't know if you really could, but fun to think that you could. Pretty funny that the connection quality sucks so hard, to be honest. Mobile Iron spams me on a weekly basis, and I'm not their customer, says Barry. It's a Cisco thing. I think Cisco spun them off. Maybe. I don't know. The connection is not always like this. First, I've seen like this from, I'm just going to say 404 because I can't read that word. It's a word. Type how you pronounce it in the chat and I'll say it.
Neocortex.
Maybe. Yeah, neocortex. There you go. You're using all the leaked characters, man. I don't want to have to bring up Windows character thingy. What is it called? The character map? Yeah. Look, I'm elite now. I've got the character map. Oh, where else can I do it? Irongeek Homo? No. I can't spell words. Generator. It'll find it with that. There we go. You can do this from Irongeek's site. You take something like Mary is so cool, and then you can go and screw with the characters and have it be like that. Go that R, maybe this Y, and do this. Randomly pick shit, and look, all of a sudden at the bottom we've got Mary is so cool. Look, it's all leaked now. All right.
Yeah, some of those homoglyphs are better than others. Actually, we do some leak. If you go to the skinny pad on my website, you can do some stuff with like make it look like it's a ransom letter.
There's a skinny pad on here. I haven't seen that.
Oh, I have to put the link someplace to get to it. I don't think I actually linked it to the front page.
Skinny pad. See if that does anything.
Skinnypad.php off the root. I'll put it in the YouTube chat. I don't know if you all see that or not.
Now I've got too many windows open.
If you open up the comments tab, you can see it.
My turn? I can't freaking type for the life of me today.
.skiddypad.php, yes. SKIDDYPAD.
I found it. All right.
But you can do things of text in there, extract Twitter handles, do a couple other things.
Found it. What's his name? It's neocortex. So let's see the variations on that. Neocortex. Let's just random skidify that. How do we do that? There's a button, right?
Yeah, keep scrolling over to the right. One of them, I can't read your screen because it's so small.
I can't read my screen.
All right, over to the right a little bit. Fun. Over to fun.
Fun.
Well, once you do it once, it may not work right later on. You have to start with actually just straight up ASCII.
ASCII. All right, there we go. Anyway, it's fun to go be elite with elite characters. I had to go through the source code of YouTube to figure out how you did that with the Z's going up on your name there. So I just stole it right from the source code. It took me a whole 2 minutes to find it. I was very upset it took that long. Okay. That's Mobile Iron, and that's Frank getting off topic, which he's very good at. Researchers from Temple University have been tracking ransomware attacks on critical infrastructure all around the world. So a team of researchers at Temple in Philadelphia have presented a new project called SURWA that is a repository of critical infrastructure ransomware attacks, aiming to track ransomware attacks on critical infrastructure worldwide. It was launched September of 2019, and as of August 2020, experts have collected 680 records of ransomware attacks that took place since November of 2013. That's going back pretty far. The maintainers of the project have also mapped the attacks to the MITRE ATT&CK framework. Anyone can request access to the data by compiling this form. I think you mean completing this form. I don't have to get a compiler for this form. I just put shit in here. I don't have to compile it. I can complete it. Right? Yeah. And then go like drop database. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So anybody can request access to this data. Fun. We can get access to that data and do stuff with it. We're not going to, but we can. They should just publish it publicly, and anybody can see it. So, VMware admits that most vSphere users are not going to go around building a mini cloud just so they can run K8s. So they fix it with an add-on, right? So vSphere, which, you can get ESX for free now, right? But you can't run more than like 4 processors on a machine, which is plenty to do most stuff anyway. But it can be free. So vSphere is the thing that controls your hypervisors remotely. If you got a bunch of ESX servers and you want to be able to manage them all without having to individually log into each network where one of them is on, you can connect them all to vSphere and you can, do all your shit on there. So vSphere has this ability to run containers now using like Kubernetes and Docker natively on the ESX host without the need to spin up like a virtual machine that's going to host the containers. So you need to do containers right on the ESX box. And that capability has pretty much been like, you can only get it if you spend up the wazoo for their enterprise products and you build a mini cloud. And yeah, a lot of places want to futz with that stuff and they don't necessarily want to pay all that money for it. So they've released the ability to do that now without having to spend all the money on the high-end shit. You still need vSphere, right? Which in and of itself is pretty expensive. I wonder what the latest pricing on that. vSphere, not notified bad disk. Pricing. So vSphere is pretty freaking expensive. The standard is like $995, and if you want support, that's an extra $275, right? So it's not cheap, but with it you get like the ability to notify you if you get a bad disk. So that's kind of cool. Barry runs vSphere, and he's a VCP. He says 2 sockets. No. That's not right. It's 4 sockets. I know because I ran into it today, Barry. Okay. Yes, Barry. Anyway, so they've added the ability to do that shit, which is cool. Another misconfigured database leaks a whole bunch of records. This time, it's a dating and e-commerce site. Dating and e-commerce sites that have had their personal data exposed after a potential marketing software provider misconfigured their online database. Discovered by an ethical hacker. I wonder if he was a CEH or if he was just an ethical hacker, and reported to VPN Mentor. I wonder why he decided I'm going to report this to VPN Mentor. The issue is an unsecured and unencrypted Elasticsearch database. Again, another Elasticsearch database that's misconfigured. They added the ability to do security on your Elasticsearch database a few years ago, but when it first came out, there was no ability to secure your database with a password. So unless you had the enterprise version of the product, if you had like the free version, no way to secure your database. Expose it to the internet, it's going to get owned. So now you can password protect it, and you can even go further than that. But these leaks keep happening. They found through several websites that disingenuous accounts were a huge issue. Many profile photos were registered on scam databases and reused across multiple accounts. And they bill people for, let's see here. They had difficult to understand payment structures, and some refused to offer refunds. Some required a credit card as proof of age, yet in the fine print, they would then charge you $29.90 a month. I don't blame them for leaking their shit if they did that. Okay. Next is a good one. Mary, you'll like this. You like when proof of concept code leaks? This one is really good. It's that freaking vulnerability that came out, I think 2 weeks ago, is called what the hell was it called? I'm having a blank here. I don't know what's wrong with me lately, but regardless, this is the thing that's on like a domain controller where you can pop it and reset the password. So there's proof of concept for it, and you gotta install Impacket for it to work properly. More research here. Okay, so bad login or something, or zero login. It's called zero login. Thank you, Jesus Christ. Where the hell's my brain at? It's definitely in my ass. So yeah, you can become domain admin if you're on the same network as a domain controller, and it hasn't been passed for a while, which is always fun. It's a cryptographic authentication flaw that uses the net login remote protocol, and there's a tool to test it. Yeah, test it. By test it, we mean pop a box. Next, we have Zenhua data leak. Millions of people around the world had their shit leaked from another Chinese company that was popped. Another database leaked. A lot of people in the leak are Australian for some reason, despite it being a Chinese database. Yeah. And that's what we have to say about that. Didi says that they should make a company so they can deduct it from their taxes, but they're supposed to be retired, frowny face. I wish I was retired. I'm 38. Damn, man. Good for you. Next, we've got Komodo announces plans to open source their endpoint detection and response product. Now, this would be awesome news, right? If their product didn't suck so much ass. So, EDR products cost a lot of money. They do. It's like, you can't get around it. It's an expensive thing if you want to run it properly. It costs money. They're open sourcing their EDR product, and yeah, good for them. Good for them. Maybe it won't suck anymore when some people in the community get a hold of it and fix all the shit that's wrong with it. That's all I have to say about that. The VA, that's the place where the soldiers go if they want to get their health care.
I've only been in a VA hospital one time to visit my dad when he was dying, and it's at least the one in Louisville seems like a very depressing place.
Yeah, from what I've heard, a lot of them are not the nicest places. So a VA hospital, the Department of the Veterans Affairs announced on Monday that the personal information of about 46,000 veterans was accessed in a recent data breach. The individuals behind the breach used some social engineering to gain access accounts, according to the VA, along with exploiting some authentication protocols. The VA noted that the breach of systems had been disabled, and their Office of IT is conducting a review. The VA did not provide details on who was behind the hack or how many social security numbers were compromised. They had been hit with a massive breach back in 2006 when a computer disk was stolen that contained the social security numbers, birth dates of about 26.5 million veterans, including several lawmakers. And they recently put out a report saying that found that the VA in Milwaukee's regional office had mishandled veterans' personal data, leaving it exposed to around 25,000 remote network users for months. What that means exactly, I'm not sure. Normally, we don't measure breaches in the number of remote network users that have seen it, but I guess that's a metric they have for whatever reason. They have been a target of malicious actors online, including some Russian disinformation campaigns. It happens. We got some Russian, not Russian, maybe Russian, Cerberus banking Trojan. The source code has been leaked online, and it's free for any cyber attacker who wants to pull it down and do some bad things with it. So it's some Android malware, right? And you can now get the full source code for it and futz with it. According to Kaspersky, cybersecurity researcher Dmitry Galov, the leaked source code is distributed under the name Cerberus V2 and presents an increased threat for smartphone users and the banking sector at large. It's a rat, and it can grab your banking data from your phone's app that connects to your bank. It's also able to read your two-factor authentication codes that the bank might send you so that you can access your shit. And if they can pass that two-factor code along to the attacker and they put it in before you, they're in your account. It's been discovered on Google Play for a while. It's often disguised as a legitimate application, such as a currency converter. That's Trojan horse, man. That's what it is. Source code's available for those bad people who want to futz with the source code and make it better. I mean, it was a public share. Yeah, that's pretty lame. I've seen people do actual public shares with SMB to the internet. Like, how the hell does that even happen?
I've seen that one time in the last 10 years. But it's been a while.
Yeah, it's rare you see 445 outbound and then the firewall lets that out. Like, I get the firewall letting it out, like maybe for authentication shit, but not to let it in so that somebody can mount like a SIF, an SMB share on your computer and your network. Like, that doesn't happen too often unless shit's really badly configured. Or somebody says, hey, I want to work from home, but I want to access the files on my computer, and your IT guy's clueless. He goes, okay, I'm going to create a share, and then I'm going to put it on. I'm going to forward 445 to the internet. This will be fine. Yeah, so I'm trying to. Why is my shit highlighted? Some telecom groups in China, they're bullying the U.S. telecoms. Well, what does that mean? So 6 suspected Chinese hacking groups have zeroed in on entities in the telecommunications sector in the first half of this year, according to CrowdStrike. I have a package outside. While CrowdStrike did not identify the groups by name, attackers have likely been running their hacking operations in an effort to steal sensitive data about targets or to conduct some IP theft. Researchers at the threat intelligence firm CrowdStrike have said the telecommunications sector was among the most targeted sectors in 2020, with a fresh warning from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security saying that Chinese intelligence agencies are exploiting software flaws to gather information from U.S. federal agencies amid ongoing U.S. government efforts to safeguard research into COVID-19 vaccines, which the Chinese have been trying to steal, allegedly. Apt 41 tracks some specific data on individuals by breaching a phone company, according to FireEye, and that group conducted espionage for China's Communist Party and focused on individuals with interest to the Chinese government, including those who are discussing military or protests in Hong Kong. Hackers based in China compromised some cell phones in Africa, Europe, and the Middle East as well. And and they were able to leverage some Chinese-owned firms such as Huawei for data collection purposes. The DoD, the NSA, and Homeland Security and the FBI have all launched an effort to stop hackers from disrupting work towards a coronavirus vaccine. And hackers' interest in manufacturing entities could be tied to the race to develop and manufacture a coronavirus vaccine among the ongoing pandemic. So, yeah, they'll even hack the phone companies to get at your shit. Mary, what are you drawing? What is that?
It's Darren.
Yeah. It looks like some furry porn.
Why does everyone have to go to everything automatically furry? You know, there used to be a time when you could just draw animal
yeah.
you used to draw shit like Disney style, and people didn't.
Someone was talking shit about me, and they asked. Well, first of all, they lied because I blocked them.
It's a weirdo. Like
Someone asked someone else if I was a furry recently. The first they gave me shit because I blocked them. I blocked them because they seemed like a whiny nut. If you like a treat I find stupid, I'll block you. And the only, I guess I understand why they thought it might be a furry because I do have that outfit. I can dress up like a hedgehog, but all
right.
Somehow when you thought it was intimidating that I had a shotgun and I was dressed up like a hedgehog. It wasn't particularly intimidating photo, I don't think. Anyway, continue.
All right, next we've got an article from our favorite InfoSec journalist, Catalan Sempano, at ZDNet Zero Day. And in this article, he talks about some malware that's been going around screwing with Microsoft SQL servers, installing crypto miners. Thousands of Microsoft SQL servers have been infected so far. And they've named this new malware MBR Miner, after one of the domains that's used by the host of their malware. The account uses the username default and this weird ass password over here. Is that me or is that somebody else whose phone is going ding ding ding? And if it is me, I'm going to yell at my friends because they know.
It's probably the Twitter group because mine's going off too.
All right. So essentially, this is just something that's going to infect a server that's running Microsoft SQL that's using a weak password and is using the default admin account. It's going to brute force the account, and once it gets in, it uses an executable that's got some hard-coded credentials in there that reaches back out to another server. And then it pulls down XMR mining software, and that's Monero, if you don't know what XMR is. And yeah, it's got a C2 server, and it can do other shit, but it's mostly focused on mining Monero. So yeah, take over some servers and use them to do some cryptocurrency. So they are able to track the wallet that they're using, and they've got 7 XMR on there, which is about $630. So yeah, they're not making that much money doing this, but I guess any money you can make by screwing around is worth making for bad guys. I'm the bad guy. All right. The Treasury is up next. We're doing some sanctions on some Russian hackers. Yeah. So the U.S. government is charging ahead in its pursuit of privacy tokens, according to its latest sanctions. Per Wednesday additions to its list of sanctions individuals, the U.S. Treasury Department is targeting Monero addresses, which is kind of strange. Russian nationals Dmitry Kazav and yeah, I can't say these names. So some Russian dudes engineered an elaborate phishing campaign from 2017 to 2018. And in that phishing campaign, they got some Ethereum and some Zcash and some Litecoin. And they have the Monero address that was used. And they are targeting that. They're also targeting some wallets of some Russian individuals who are allegedly involved in election interference. You go after the money, man. If you go after the money, then they don't have any money, and then they can't do things. Some more ransomware shutting down some more schools.
After 80 years, we...
Shush. This is in Newhall, which I think is Jersey. Is it Jersey? No, it's California. All right, so it's California, and this school district got hit with ransomware the first day of school. Students and the parents, it's just one more glitch in a year that has been full of unwelcome surprises. Right. So they've hired a forensic firm, and they say the forensic firm will resolve the issue. Of course they will.
Good for them.
Your child's social security number and all that information is not going to leak onto the dark net. The forensic firm will stop it. Next, we've got a bug in Joe Biden's campaign app gave access to millions of voter files to anybody who wants them. But, of course, online voting will be much more secure. That's just my add-on to that. So a privacy bug in Joe Biden's official campaign app allowed anyone to look up sensitive voter information on millions of Americans. The campaign app, called Vote Joe, allows Biden voters to encourage friends and family to vote in the U.S. presidential election by uploading their phone's contact lists. That's pretty shitty. So you're just going to sell out all your friends and family in your list for them to go spam them so that they can try and get them to vote for Joe. That's dick. The app uploads and matches the user's contact with voter data supplied by Target Smart. That's a wonderful name for a company. A political marketing firm that claims to have files on more than 191 million Americans. When a match is found, the app displays the voter's name, age, birthday, most recent election they voted in. This app says it helps users find people who who might want to get involved. While much of this data can already be found publicly, the bug made it easy for anyone to gain access to this voter information via the app. The analyst, mobile expert, detailed his findings on the Eponius blog, found that he could trick the app into pulling anyone's information by just creating a contact on his phone with that voter's name. Worse yet, he told TechCrunch the app will pull down lots more data than it actually displays, and by intercepting that data as it flows in and out of the device, he saw the much more detailed and private information, including voters' home addresses, dates of birth, gender, ethnicity, and political party affiliation. That's pretty messed up. Now, like,
yeah, one of my friends in one of my groups I'm in, I mentioned that one, so I figured I'd post it.
NY votes. So, like a while back, I think 3 years ago, somebody did a whole bunch of freedom of information requests to all the different voter databases in all the different states, and was able to actually get them to reply back with the information for pretty much everyone. And this is what that data pretty much looks like here. This is a New York voter database from like 3 years ago. It's comma delimited, so it's just like a CSV file, but it's a huge CSV file. And you've got those fields there. And if you were to, there's also a PDF file that I don't have right here that shows what each field correlates to, but you can tell that means Republican, female, birthday. It's pretty easy to figure out. So, yeah, that exists, and that's pretty easy to find if you kind of Google around for a little bit. It's nothing too hard to find data-wise. And last but not least, we're going to have Mary talk about the InfoSec patriarchy. Oh, wait, that already happened. So, Mary, talk about the InfoSec patriarchy some more. And tell us about your octopus with several boobs.
It's an adorable jellyfish.
That's a jellyfish?
We need a symbol. It's jellyfish. We need a symbol. That's what we're gonna need. But anyway, yeah. If anyone's interested in helping out with the site or helping put stuff together or add content, shoot me an email. I do still have that survey up if people just want to do general input. I'm probably going to do a more detailed survey later. But yeah, the main point of the site is to start getting more of a positive Papas of InfoSec spirit going, and to stop demonizing guys, and to foster more mentorship programs, because we need more mentorship in the community. So
Now, Barry asked.
yeah, and if we're otherwise.
Teammaker in the chat asked, did Biden's security team sign off on this? And Barry replied with, of course they are communist. Maybe. So,
there's some outspoken people on Twitter that apparently signed off on it.
If I remember correctly, one of the head people for Biden's campaign's IT security is a rather high-profile female on Twitter.
Yeah.
Don't say
they like to say lots. They like to post lots of stuff.
Screaming about harassment,
So,
even though they harass other people more than anybody else I almost know on Twitter.
So Barry knows Doug Tenapple, and he says if your art is good, he can hook you up.
I probably wouldn't do. I mean, I'm currently managing a print shop, so I probably wouldn't have time to do too much to that. But well, this is my little cheap book, but that's my sub book for people have asked for stuff. I need to find the red notebook. It's got better things in it.
I fairly rarely commission artwork from Mary. Until recently, I usually did it when I'm drunk, so we had interesting results there.
Yeah, Adrian got the Goat Sees a Blue Waffle at 11 party, and then he also commissioned me to do Skydog Trevor Hearn as Draw Me Like One of Your French Girls.
He's like stretched out on a couch, but instead of like that little diamond thing, he has.
I have that somewhere. I could pull it up, but I'm not sure where.
I think you have an official version of it because we gave the original to Trevor, right?
There's an Angry Ninja Turtle. But, I think that red notebook's upstairs in Crown and Scissor room. I think I was trying to teach him how to draw, and they left it up there.
Did you ever finish the Riddler Raccoon?
I have a couple versions of it, but we never got together to actually work on it. And I did your masks and your gators too.
So why does that jellyfish have 5 boobs?
Oh, I just got pins. It's not boobs. They're like skirts. Like it's because the jellyfish have like a skirt almost.
I don't know. From my point of view, that jellyfish has 5 boobs and like 4 penises. So, I don't know. So, Teammaker also would like.
I love God.
He did not say names.
Oh, that's we never finished talking. I got so damn busy too because we were still talking about stuff. I need you to pick out sizes. I think I had them up on the Etsy shop. But no, yeah, I need to do those puppies.
And we have Charles in the house.
It's Charles!
Hey! How goes it? I was looking at the art. I was commenting on the art. I said, it doesn't look like a skirt. It looks like an octopus.
Dude.
With really cool tentacles.
So has anybody put any...
Let's do a little more traditional jelly.
Talked over.
What's that? Anybody what? Trez?
Huh?
Has anybody put any tranquilizer in your morning coffee yet?
No.
Dude, I enjoy seeing him first thing in the morning.
Dude, I was laughing so hard when I saw that.
He's so freaking like up there and pumped up, and I'm like, I need more fucking coffee just to watch this.
Dude, I was laughing so hard when I saw your comment. Dude, I'm like when I'm up, I'm on 1,000, and And usually when I'm doing the videos, I'm actually making the coffee. The coffee's in the maker.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So he's not even
Yeah.
caffeinated yet.
No.
No, I
Isn't
gotta get up
after
at
he's
6 in the morning and get the kid ready for school.
Adrian, you're very blue.
Off school for the next 2 days because of COVID, though. Apparently, one of her classmates came down or something, and so the whole school's on lockdown for 2 days because they don't have enough substitute teachers.
We gotta get Adrian some more hedgies.
Oh, I got those over here. Let me see. I got 3 hedgies within reach.
Oh, okay.
I need to get you more hedges.
This thing is some kind of like bath wash thing, but that just seems kind of weird to rub a hedgehog against you while bathing.
I ordered my little dumpster fire.
I got one of those earlier this year. I pre-ordered that like last, I think,
so cute.
October, November when I got them.
Yeah.
It's sitting on my shelf over there. Yeah.
This one came with the COVID mask.
Oh, so yeah, I pre-ordered it back in like November before that big
I need to
thing.
run out to the truck and show you guys the COVID pins that my boss just had made. They had me designed.
Oh my goodness. I want to get the LED mask. I'm gonna make it fun.
I've been making these.
Adrian got the
Actually, I got a piece of PPE.
Yeah, this is the best.
Coming in. It's just like the bottom part. It's probably gonna be thicker plastic and has like a cotton liner in it. But unfortunately, I ordered it back in May, and I got so many orders from Friday the 13th fans.
Uh-huh.
It's going to be a while before it gets here.
Oh my goodness, you're a fellow Friday the 13er. Me too. I love my favorite one is when he takes Manhattan and he knocks the guy's head off into the trash can.
That is a pretty cool scene.
Yeah.
I watched it with commentary recently. Originally, I watched this like this is a disappointment because he's not in Manhattan much. But after watching it years later, it kind of grew on me. I think my favorite one is either 7 or 6.
I like 3 as well. 3 was when he took his mask off. 3 is when he had the mask off.
Mask off about every single one of them. Or someone
No. This one when he was in the house and they were like struggling and his mask was like off. For the first time when he first took his mask off. Because part 1 and part 2.
In the second one, you see him without the mask also. Because that one he didn't have the hockey mask yet. He just had a bag, like a burlap.
Right. But then the one with the little boy, the little boy when he was in the house struggling.
That was number 4.
That was 4. Okay, I'm thinking that's 3.
Yeah,
4.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was him. Wow.
Then they kill him. Then number 5 is the one where it wasn't actually Jason.
No, it was I don't know who that was.
5 was the only one where the black character survived.
Yep. This is true.
I ruined it if anybody hasn't seen the movie. I haven't watched number 5 in quite a while, but I need to go back and watch that because I'm actually told, even though it doesn't actually technically have Jason in it, it's actually supposed to be a pretty good one. Though it was directed by a guy who previously, his main claim to fame as far as directing was doing porn films, and it kind of shows in the movie.
Well, yeah. Hey, anybody out there? Crinkle, crinkle, crinkle. Oh my goodness!
I like 6 and 7 because 6 it had a little bit of humor in it, and it's the first time you see zombie Jason.
Yeah.
7 I like because it's the best makeup. It's the first time Kane Hodder played the role. I actually have a machete signed by Kane Hodder. It says,
"Oh wow,
Jason
okay,
Hodder, keep on hacking."
That's what I'm talking about. Oh my goodness!
I'm also a fan of Nightmare on Elm Street, but I have never actually got to get a signature from Robert Englund.
The Dream Master.
That one wasn't bad. That one and 3 are good. I think my favorites though are the first one and the third one.
And I love all the Michael Myers movies.
I really like 4. The first 2 are not bad. What do you think of the Rob Zombie remakes? Or the
it's okay. It just don't have the same vibe anymore.
And once they got to like 5.
Yeah, that's when it got kind of hit a little decline. But I like when they did H2O 20 though. I like when they did H2O. Halloween H2O. That was pretty good. Jamie Lee Curtis.
First one? Well, yeah, Jamie Lee.
That was the one in 98. No, that was the one in 98 when it was Jamie Lee Curtis, LL Cool J. And she was like, "It's my brother."
And then they ignored all that continuity when they did the restart again in like what was it, 2018?
Yeah. Oh man.
They retconned it.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Well, they retconned it several times because technically the H2O one kind of retcons it because it doesn't mention the little girl Jamie who appears first in part 4. They
Oh, that's right. It doesn't. Yeah, it really doesn't.
H2O, they do a direct sequel to that in I can't remember the one it's called, Resurrection. But what happened to Jamie Lee Curtis's character's son?
I don't know. He wasn't in it. I don't know what happened with him.
Didn't they have a rapper also in the Resurrection one?
Busta Rhymes.
Okay.
Trevor, excuse me.
Trevor, forget what Trevor did there.
Never forget Trevor. Oh my goodness.
Who cancels a freaking concert at the last minute?
Trevor does.
I'm assuming that's where we got the name for the cockroach, right?
Yes. The fun days.
You should know this. You're friends with Dave.
Well, I don't know if Dave is the one who came up with the name Trevor. I'm pretty sure that was come up by who's the gentleman who actually stuck the roach up into his straw? I can't remember his name.
Yeah. Oh, I cringe every time I hear that.
The thing is, I actually like that smash burger. I ate it a few times.
I did too.
And the last year that they had DerbyCon, people were sitting up the memorial, and the people who worked there were like, "What the hell is going on?" They had no idea. And people are like, "Yeah, it's our friend. He died. He died around here." We're just they never mentioned a cockroach.
Oh man, damn! I really, 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 really miss that con. It really hit me, that con this year.
I managed to get a ticket for that con through Mental Health Hackers. I've been on their auction. I spent like 10 times as much as it should have been to get it. It was the last one. You can't not go. You know? Yeah.
It was. I had so much fun in the memories.
I tried so hard to get a ticket for that one, but I missed it. Like I tried like several times.
A bidding war to get a ticket, and I have 2 friends on the board of Mental Health Hackers. I should have just asked them to give me a ticket.
Yeah, shout out to Amanda. Awesome.
Amanda's awesome. Don't forget Click, though.
Huh?
Don't forget Click.
Of course not. Can never forget Click.
Click's the man.
Mm-hmm.
Back when he lived in New York, he was like my best friend. We used to hang out. Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, just awesome folks, man. I like I said, there's some awesome folks out there. Do some fun stuff. I can't complain. Oh, today was a good day.
Was today a good day?
Huh?
Was today a good day?
Yeah, it was a good day.
I got to.
Did you have to use your AK?
No, so it was a good day.
Then it was a good day. Yep.
Yeah, Ice Cube.
Do you have an AK? Mine's a Romanian Ross R10.
No, I don't have an AK.
Okay. See, actually, there's a couple handguns I want to go out. Well, one handgun I want to go out and purchase right now, but everybody's sold out of everything. It's not like I'm not, like I need another one, but I kind of want it.
Oh my goodness, I just enjoyed the fall weather today. Like,
oh, it's nice, man, because I can go out in my heavy ass and go walking 4 miles, and I sweat a little bit, but not much.
Yeah. But that's good. Just walk and just catch the vibes, man. Like just.
Yeah. I've been trying to do 4 miles a day, just to, because I'm not going into the gym because I'm still a little bit worried about the COVID stuff. I'm not like paranoid like one of my friends is, but gym equipment and so forth. A little concerned. I can do some of that stuff at home, but I want to burn off some of the calories.
Yeah. I don't know. It's things are so different now. You just try to find a way. That's why I like. Even in the morning videos, I just tell people, hey, just hold on just for today. Forget the rest. Just focus on today, one day at a time.
No day but today.
Today. Oh, my goodness, man. I was just in awe today. I woke up at 6:30 today. I got up at 6:30. That my wife was already up. We was watching the news together. Like we'll watch the news together at that time, just kind of see what's going on. And then
It's entirely too early to get up.
what 6:30?
Yeah.
I don't know. My eyes just opened.
I gotta
and
be
I'm
up at 6 to get my kids to school, so it's like, oof.
All right, Adrian, tell you, when I'm up, I just get up.
And I think I got up at like 1 a.m. Well, I went to sleep at like 5. My sleep pattern has been I got to be up for work and available for messages, meetings, and so forth.
Yeah.
All right, who's playing the music?
No, but go ahead. You said you had to be up for when?
Well, for when I'm meeting at work.
What the heck?
Stop that, please. I have to be up around and make sure I'm around for work for like 9 to 5 at least.
Okay.
That's when
gotcha.
other people are working. That's when they might message me about some issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pretty much do 10 to 5 every day. Is it for work?
Okay. Like pretty much, we're kind of like all over the place. It's no real set hours, but you just got to make sure your stuff is done. Because
even with us, we're doing kind of compressed scheduling. So I work between like 11:30 and 5 for the most part, and then I'm up at 6 because I got to take care of the farm.
Yeah.
Mary, I'm jelly of your drawing.
I know her drawings are amazing.
This is what I was excited about. Those over quarantine, my boss messaged me over Skype, and he's like, "You designed some COVID pins, and we finally got them back." So we sent these out. So I got to design pins. Yeah. So I got to design pins for the first time.
Oh, you weren't around for this part of the cast, Charles. I've got my house all automated where I can just use voice commands for turning my lights different colors. I can turn on the fan upstairs. I can turn on my little lightning plasma ball. The thing is, I got a bunch of these little outlet things I can use for turning things on and off, but I only have one thing I really want to turn on and off. And all the light bulbs are Wi-Fi. Oh, well, most light bulbs I use are now Wi-Fi, so I can use them. And I'm probably opening my house up to China. I don't know.
Hey, I think I am. Okay, Google, lights out.
Okay, Google, play first to 11.
Oh. I had something like, I think that music was funky, but like, okay, Google, activate strobe.
Ooh.
Activating the strobe.
But see, it doesn't go quite fast enough to really be effective.
I made my computer do the strobe.
You call that a computer? This is a computer.
Mine's doing that. Actually, you got the same case I got. We got the same case.
Okay, Google, turn lights red.
We got the same case, Mary?
I think so. I think that's the same case.
2 lights aren't available.
Hey, okay. Yeah, it's the core. It's the Corsair. Yours the Corsair. Okay, Google, lights on.
Oh man, Matt got this for me for Christmas. I don't know. I have to look at it. It looks like the same case.
Yeah, it's probably the same case.
Right now.
Yeah, I don't have lights on the cooler yet though. On the heat sink, but I got the RGB RAM.
Now here's what I think. Third-party apps you can use for this, Charles. But I wish you could change the activation word, because when I say "Okay Google," it's activating everybody else's "Okay Google" sometimes on the stream.
Oh, that's why I got headphones
Not
on.
me.
Do it again.
Yeah, that's why I had headphones. I said too, Charles. Like that's why you wear headphones.
Say it again. Let's see if it works.
Okay, Google.
Okay, Google.
Not mine.
All right. I've had mine.
I do that
control voice print
all the time.
Yes, I have headphones on. I'm like, get the strobe lights. Strobe lights. Hey.
Does anybody else have anything else they want to say while actually live on air?
Just know that I love you all.
All right, folks. We'll catch you all next week, and we'll hang out on here off cast. But you everybody have a good week, and see you next Wednesday.
Ow! Yep. Later.
Later.